Cutting is kind of like suicide. You're using something that has permanent effects to solve temporary problems. When you cut yourself, you are very, very likely going to scar. Those scars are very, very likely going to last forever. That just doesn't make sense. You guys are like, what, 16, 17? How much of your life do you have left to live? You have probably like 60 years left, right? Do you really want to be 70 years old and have your grandkids sitting on your lap, looking at your arms going, "What's with this, Grandpa? Why do you have all these cuts on your arm?" I'm going to tell you a story about my ex-girlfriend. She joined the military, and they found out that she had cuts on her arm. This is all according to her. She had cuts on her arm, and when they found this out, I guess she did a good job hiding it for some time, they discharged her, saying that she was insane. She was unfit for the military. Is that really the way you want society to view you guys? The people who cut themselves. Do you really want society to look at you like you're insane? My suggestion is to find a reasonable alternative, a healthy alternative, one that won't cost you money for the rest of your life, one that won't cost you flesh for the rest of your life. It's therapy. Talk to your friends, talk to your family, or talk to a professional. Because cutting, it's permanently damaging your body for the sake of something temporary. And that to me is just very, very irresponsible.
Let's just say you start off in this Pokeball, and that's where you become, that's where you're born, and that's where you're first, alive, and you're in this little safe spot that is just you, and you're happy and you're content, and you just have this little safety net. And then suddenly one day you enter this huge world, this earth, and there's all these crazy things going on around you, and then you get let out of your Pokeball, and suddenly you're in this world, and you grow up, and you kind of become more and more aware of yourself, and more aware of what's going on around you, and you kind of start perceiving yourself based on what other people will tell you, or based on what you think other people think of you. And you start to kind of think, man, I'm not good enough, like that person's better, man, I don't like myself, I hate myself, there's something wrong with me. But you have to remember that that came from everything else that made you think those things. That came from the outside world. And when you were in that little Pokeball, I guarantee you would have never looked at yourself and said, man, what's wrong with me? You wouldn't have known to do that, because it was just you, it was just your soul, and it was just, you were just happy. And then suddenly you had all these other people perceiving you, and you started basing, your opinions on what those people think and what the world was telling you. And this is where